Hello guys, my name is IronMac117 and today I'm looking at the Captain America is a Disaster, a Brave New Load. This is by Nerdrotic. Let's begin.
Who deals better with snakes, Indy or Thaddeus Ross?
I will not answer that stupid question.
What you feeling right now, bro? What you feeling? I know you gotta be
my
ecstatic.
dream and my nightmare all in one.
Yo, well, wake up, baby, because we are in paradise.
It's very important that little brown kids are going to look up and see a brown Captain America, but it's very important that other kids are going to look up and see a brown Captain America.
A few moments later.
When I was a kid, my favorite superhero was Incredible Hulk and Superman. And at no point in time when I was a kid watching Superman, I was like, no, I can't be Superman because he's white. Brave New World is a great title for this film, just simply because it's a new beginning. It's a foundation on which Marvel will build the universe on now. And I think not only this character, but all the characters that surround him are new foundation building blocks for us to utilize to move on through the universe.
What the f are you talking about, man?
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
What you just said is one of
Fuck
the
it out. This is some of the shit he actually said. Holy shit.
Everyone in this room is now
I wonder it's bombing.
Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. The Captain America sequel without Captain America has had a lot of problems, not the least of which is not having Captain America in your Captain America sequel. Captain African American has been the very definition of production hell with multiple issues, including but not limited to those on-brand Disney Marvel delays, moving it from 2 prime summer spots into February, possibly to recapture the magic of Black Panther by putting it in Black History Month. Then they changed the title to Brave New World from New World Order, because Disney Marvel is worried that that term was co-opted by conspiracy theorists who believe that globalists, bankers, and shadowy organizations are trying to establish a single authoritarian world government. Like, who would believe that? Then, of course, there were the well-reported ballooning budgets that were anywhere between $350 million and $375 million that Disney later lied about and said was $180 million, which was actually the price of the reshoots. Now, Disney Marvel would never lie about a budget, except for the time they did with Doctor Strange and the Marvels.
Wait! There's more!
The box office projections have gone from a $95 million domestic opening over the 3-day weekend to a $90 million domestic opening over the 4-day weekend, which is $30 million less than Ant-Man Commie-Mania. And one of the the corporate critic score on Rotten Tomatoes is 51%. Maybe they were funded by USAIDs.
Go yourself.
And with all that,
Probably, I believe
it. Still a movie you needed to do homework for. The good news is you have to watch The Incredible Hulk again. That's not so bad. The bad news is you don't need to watch any of the actual Captain America movies. The worst news is you have to watch The Eternals, and the most required viewing for this film is the god-awful Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I fucking hate that show.
Piece of content Disney Marvel has ever produced. So to save our collective time and sanity, it could be best summed up with a few clips.
We need new heroes. One suited for the times we're in.
Mr. Wilson, but we cannot approve you. I'm truly sorry.
I'm giving him shit.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh, God. I'm so
Oh,
I
God.
didn't recognize you without the cockles.
Message!
Please, you buy into all that stars and stripes bullshit.
Those stars and stripes don't mean nothing good to me.
My world doesn't matter to America.
Message!
That shield is a monument to a bygone era.
Oh, God.
All the people
Oh, God. You're torturing me, Nerdrotic.
You of all people bought into that bullshit.
Becoming a bit of a legend. Every day more people love you.
I didn't think there could be another Captain America until I met you. People
Oh,
are
fuck.
lost. They need a leader who looks like them.
No. Oh, God. You're torturing me.
GRC Supply Depot.
What? What's the damage?
11 injured, 3 dead.
To them, at least Carly's doing something.
You really think her ends justify her means? Then she's no different than him or anybody else we fought.
She's different. She's not motivated by the same things.
No, no.
I like you, Sarah. You remind me of me.
God,
Commander Poor, you reminded me of a young me.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, stars and stripes. And a black man. Black man, black man.
I'm a black man carrying the stars.
Oh, God. Oh, this is a montage of what I hate about the show. It's so bad.
but he's still black.
The terrorists only set us back a bit.
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
They are terrorists. They were black. Yeah, exactly.
But you have no idea how complicated this situation is.
You know what? You're right.
You've got to do better, Senator.
Well, I have to apologize in advance
Yes,
because it seems like
Jesus.
we say this a lot with Disney Marvel films lately, with a couple of rare exceptions, but my expectations were low, but holy fuck with Captain America Brave New World, it seemed from the corporate critics and some critics that I actually
God, I
liked that
fucking
the
hate
general
that show,
consensus
man.
was that it was mid at best. But I have to respectfully and with most critics disrespectfully disagree. Every bit of trouble this film has had shows through on the screen. I think it can be best described as Disney Marvel making a post-Snyder pre-Gunn DC movie.
I come to set every day with a smile on my face. Because we're making Captain America.
No, you're not. Here I am being a sweet summer child again because I thought this would be better because it's got a pretty good cast. The good news is it's not 2.5 hours long and it's not woke. The bad news is it feels 2.5 hours long. It has a series of events that might masquerade as a plot.
I don't know
but
about
it
that,
ends
actually.
up being a boring, convoluted mess. You know, I feel stupid for doing so much prep for this because this film has nothing to it. So don't worry about any spoilers because you saw everything in the trailers.
You want me? Come and get me! No, let's get this over with. I got shit to do today.
The film opens with Sam Wilson and Joaquin Torres intercepting an illegal sale of adamantium. Yes, you heard that right. They are able to retrieve it from Giancarlo Esposito in one of his 3 scenes in the film, and he is playing Sidewinder, and he just looks a little bit different than the version in the comics.
They changed the character
Oh my
just
God.
a little bit.
General Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford, recast from William Hurt practically before his body got cold, and he invites Sam to the White House after this successful
Yeah, it was very
mission,
quick,
and
yeah.
Sam decides to bring along Joaquin Torres and Isaiah Bradley. And you might be asking yourself, who in the hell are Joaquin Torres and Isaiah Bradley? Well, you wouldn't know if you haven't watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or you might not remember considering that the show came out almost 4 years ago. Isaiah Bradley is essentially the Tuskegee experiment Captain America who was locked away by the American government for 30 years because he was black. And Joaquin Torres is the new Falcon with arguably the worst costume in the MCU. And I know it's very reminiscent of the one that's in the comics, and that one sucked too. The reason Sam
I don't know if his costume's that bad, to be honest, in the film.
was so Captain African American could reform the Avengers and become the face of a treaty. And this is the biggest takeaway in the entirety of Captain America Brave New World. Hold your hats, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare yourself. Marvel has finally acknowledged the giant celestial in the middle of the ocean, which you all knew from the trailer. Now, Sam Wilson's hand-me-down Captain America is the face of a cooperative international treaty where all nations get to share in the adamantium, and it's cute that President Harrison Ford wants to get this one thing done within his first 100 days. Trump would have made Tiamat the 51st state within his first 100 hours.
Yeah,
Anyway,
probably.
Playing, it turns 4 people into Manchurian candidates, including Isaiah Bradley, and they try to assassinate President Ross, which you also saw in the trailer, which was later taken out of the trailer when a real Manchurian candidate tried to assassinate a real presidential candidate. Captain Anti-American is fired, and Isaiah Bradley is locked up once again. Sam Wilson's Captain Un-American and Joaquin Torres' Ilacon are now hunting for clues for who's behind the mystery of the mind control. Something you think they would reveal towards the end of the film, and no, we find out right away. It's Tim Blake Nelson's Samuel Stearns, last seen in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. And if you're waiting for that big reveal of what he would look like as the leader, well, he doesn't look like the classic version or even the updated version. He looks like what Chris Gore best describes as broccoli.
What the hell is
Oh,
even that?
God.
And apparently the creators of Captain America Brave New World had no interest in having the audience engage in the story in any way by giving us the leader's entire motivation in successive exposition dumps, for which there are many, in the middle of the film. Now the 5s and 10s of people in the theater will have time to check their phones, and they're really playing to the lowest common denominator. Unfortunately, that's the creators of Captain America Brave New World. Turns out the leader is mad that Ross used him to gain power, and when he was promised a pardon, he didn't get it. So what's he want to do? Does he want to kill him? Does he want to take over the world? No, he wants to ruin Ross's career. First by engineering what turned out to be a fake assassination attempt and then engineering a war with Japan. Japan believes that the U.S. ordered by President
makes
Ross
no
stole
sense.
their adamantium only so the U.S. could give it back to them, and it creates an international incident. Now, Sam and Joaquin are able to escape the leader with the help of their teeny tiny friend, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ruth Bat Seraph. Now, I did say the film wasn't woke in this sense of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it definitely has its MCU element.
Yeah.
And it's Ruth Bat Seraph, who in the comics is a mutant superhero named Sabra, who is an agent of the Mossad, essentially Captain Israel. But for
Yeah.
some strange reason, they've changed her character in the MCU, and now she's the security advisor for Ross and a former Black Widow. Now back to the war with Japan that the leader instigated. Now let's not get bogged down with the details in our world anyway, that the Japanese Air Defense Force has about 60,000 people with 714 craft, and our Air Force has over 600,000 people, half of which are active duty, and 5,000 aircraft, 32% of which are fighters. But it's pretend, so we'll let it go. It just seems that Japan is such an odd choice when the obvious one will be China. To be fair,
Yeah.
this is Disney, a company that thanked a
Yeah,
concentration camp in
yeah.
China, and they want to continue pandering to them, then it makes more sense. This big action set piece set around the celestial Tiamat turns out to be a CG slogfest minor skirmish. Again, the leader's entire motivation for this is not to obtain power or get adamantium, it's to make President Ross turn into the Red Hulk so he'll look bad.
I knew he got big. I knew he got mean. I knew he got red. That's all I needed to know.
And that doesn't happen until the end of the film during the press conference, which you've all seen in the trailers, and Sam and the Red Hulk have their big final battle amongst the cherry blossoms. I wish I was kidding. And Captain African American defeats the Red Hulk by knocking him out with a vibranium wing and talking him down. In a scene that makes Black Widow talking the Hulk down look Shakespearean. And that's where the film ends, and it has all the bad things. It's anticlimactic, it's contrived, it's bloated, it's filled with exposition. The CGI looks like dog shit, and I can't believe I'm saying this.
I thought Red
There
Hulk
are
looked
parts of
alright,
the Falcon
but-
and the Winter Soldier that I like better, including Zemo and John Walker, who did nothing wrong. Captain
Yep.
America: Brave New Low had none of that, and it doesn't
Killed
help
those
that Disney
terrorists.
Marvel once again cast a director based on his identity rather than hiring him for his ability. To be fair to Julius Ona, I doubt this is his final version, which I've heard from people within Marvel is worse. I'm guessing all the politics were cut out, and I would believe that considering that the first film Julius directed was called... Oh, feel free to look it up for yourself on IMDb. And an argument could be made that this is as bad as the Marvels and the Eternals. Some of you fine folks may disagree, and that's okay, but please hear me out. The fact is, Captain Death to America had a lot more going for it than the Marvels. Specifically, the cast. Anthony Mackie is a good actor, and everyone loved him as Falcon, but he's a terrible Captain America, which has now been proven to be a failure, not only in the comics, but in the films. Danny Ramirez's Falcon, despite that horrible costume, had some potential to be comic relief. Unfortunately, there was no comedy or relief. Carl Brumley, who is a great actor, playing the slightly less bitter in the beginning anyway, Isaiah Bradley, does his best, but it's just not enough. This brings us to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm sorry, Ruth Bat Seraph. And what she does in Captain Un-American is what MCU heroes do. Beat the crap out of dudes, in this case, 3 times her size. I had a lot of jokes lined up for this character until I found out actress Shira Haas got cancer as a child and it stunted her growth, so props to her for surviving and overcoming it, and fuck cancer. Still, why not just make her a mutant
I did
like
not
you did
know
in the
that.
comic books? You've already done it with Miss Marvel. She's fine as a security advisor. I just have a hard time believing that she's regularly beating the crap out of 250-pound dudes with no powers when she looks like she needs a permission slip from her parents to be there. Cast her as the Wasp. Think of the money you would save
I
on
did
effects.
not know that.
Giancarlo Esposito is always great playing Giancarlo Esposito, except in this. Yes, he was cast in the 11th hour, but again, he's only in 3 scenes. The one thing I was actually looking forward to seeing was Tim Blake Nelson as the leader, and if anyone could connect an audience with a piece of broccoli, it would have been him. Too bad it just came off as a monologuing piece of broccoli. And we round out
God,
the
I
cast
hate
with
how
one
he
of the
looks,
greatest
man.
actors of our generation who completely mailed it in, Harrison Ford.
What did you know about the multiverse before you signed up for this movie?
In an interview with Vulture, a technical crew member who worked on the reshoots said this: Harrison Ford was one of the crankiest performers I've dealt with, which was sad because I'm a fan, but he was very much a diva. Listen, Harrison Ford has earned the right to be a diva, but he definitely didn't bring his A game. His president, Thaddeus Ross, comes off, like this film, as a parody, and he doesn't even bother to try to play it like the late great William Hurt, who did a much better job.
Yep, 100%.
And unsurprisingly
Stand by
enough,
that.
it sounds like Harrison Ford was as miserable as I was watching his movie.
I don't want to break your bubble. That's what the money is for.
To silence that part of your brain.
We had to suit up 80-something Harrison Ford with these motion capture dots.
Hilarious.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall for that. To me, it seemed like he hated it and didn't want to do it. Yeah, no shit. And when Harrison was done, he was done. Everyone was trying to scramble to make him happy. That made for a very awkward work environment. And the scene where Harrison Ford finally has to Hulk out before his 5 minutes as the Red Hulk is cringe-inducing. With this cast alone, Captain African American should have been better than the Marvels, and it wasn't. And while this is just my opinion, there is some proof Captain America Brave New World receives the lowest cinema score ever for an MCU film, below the Eternals, Quantumania, and the Marvels. If you were expecting this film to address any of the MCU's open-ended plots, cameos, or post-credit scenes, don't get your hopes up. Again, cool, they finally addressed the giant celestial in the Indian Ocean, and it only took them 3 years, and it only took them 16 years to bring back the leader. But apparently they didn't feel the need to address the post-credit scene from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the now evil, sharing cargo as the power broker.
Yeah,
but there's the little problem
so
of
dumb.
Black Captain America and Mexican Falcon seeing Tiamat for the first time, and Sam saying he'd never seen anything like it. So you're telling me Captain America must have just slept through the day Arishem, the giant celestial, showed up to judge humanity? What happened to former President Dermot Mulroney and his one-man war against the million Skrulls? That reminds me. What the hell happened to those 1 million Skrulls? And if Sam Wilson missed the Celestial, I'm guessing he probably missed them too. Hell, does Sam Wilson know that Nick Fury's married to a Skrull? Does he know his old buddy Rhodey was a girl Skrull? Maybe we'll find out in 3 to 16 years. I know there is next to nothing in the theaters right now, but do not waste your time watching this film. It's better spent paying taxes, paying parking tickets, getting parking tickets. Maybe set up that long overdue colonoscopy, because that would be time better spent. River. Back to the comparison of Captain African American being a post-Snyder pre-Gun DC movie. That's exactly what it is. It's something that Disney Marvel deeply regretted greenlighting but were obligated to release, and that's exactly how it felt. What I was expecting was just another bad Disney Marvel film. I wasn't expecting one of the worst. And it's all through a catastrophic series of events, beginning but not ending with a horrible concept. It's just incompetent producers making incompetent decisions. Kevin Feige thought it was a good idea to make a sequel to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier by remaking Captain America and the Winter Soldier and calling it a Captain America sequel without Captain America, when in actuality it's a sequel to The Incredible Hulk without the Hulk, along with a bunch of god-awful directing, editing, and writing. And it shouldn't surprise anyone that a bunch of A-list actors just wanted to take a paycheck and get the fuck out as fast as I wanted to get out of the theater after watching this.
Honestly, I don't remember.
But hey, it looks like that Captain America sequel without Captain America in it surpassed the box office projections. Captain America box office Brave New World opens to a bullish $100 million in the US, $192 million globally. Well done, that's only $20 million behind Ant-Man Quantumania's 4-day opening over the same time period 2 years ago, and $33 million behind its worldwide opening. Looks like you might make that money back for the reshoots. I'm rooting for you. This may be a bitter pill for Disney Marvel to swallow, but Steve Rogers is Captain America. I don't make the rules, I just make the observations. But there is some good news. At the end of the movie, it says Captain America will return, so maybe Steve will come back.
You're not Steve Rogers.
That line's not even... That line, it's like... It's in the film, but... Oh, God, it's such a mess of a film. Like, I like the Red Hulk in it. I like Gilmore Esposito. What's his... Giancarlo Esposito or something? But goddamn, it's the... Yeah, the leader... I mean, I've done a review. You can go check it out. But the Falcon Winter Soldier... Why'd you make me watch that stuff, man, Nerdrotic? Jesus. That was torture. I fucking hate that show. That is the worst fucking show. And it should have been a good show, but it was an absolute piece of garbage. Yeah. Yeah. Lol. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.